welcome back to my channel. It's me, Lucia/T, and I hope you're all doing well and safe wherever you are. So today's video is going to be different. It's just going to be me rambling about thoughts. So today on Discord, I saw that there's a new body, like another body after a one that has just been recently released. But there's another female body that's coming to the grid. And then I clicked on the link, and then it took me to Flickr, and then I was looking at the Flickr. I was like, oh, this is a cute body. Let me just go back to it. But I was like, oh, this is a cute body. And it just had me thinking again, like, oh, again? Another one? Because I was looking at the bottom, like, this is great. I love when people are able to express themselves and create all these cool and amazing things. But then, as I'm looking at the body, I'm just like checking it out. I'm like, okay, it's cute, nice and slim, okay. And then I'm going back and I'm checking at other pictures, and I'm like, okay. And I'm reading the comments, and I'm like, okay. And I have to say, I agree with the comments. People that have written it down, I absolutely agree. Secondlife has a body problem. I guess I can call it that, especially a female body problem. There are too many bodies on the grid, okay? And it's not to say you're forced, okay? There isn't a gun that's saying, yeah, you better buy every single body. You don't have to. Um, Also, just because there's a certain amount of body stores on the grid and maybe on the marketplace, I don't think it really affects, the lag and all those technical stuff. I feel bad for when there's this body and you know that the creator, it took them hours and months and days, maybe even years to come up with this body and refine it. And then when they don't get the support, like it hurts. I feel the hurt for them. Maybe they're happy they get maybe let's say 20K, maybe they get 20K or more. Because the reality is, when you release a body, it's honestly like a one-time purchase. You get a body, that's it. And then obviously over time, if there's bugs and issues, you'll work on the body, make an update. But unlike clothing, people rarely come back to a body. You're not gonna go back to a body store for a body unless it's updated, unless there's an update had on, the body features. So unlike clothing where you go to the store, you'll see new different stuff. A body store, most of the time you'll find them empty unless they are offering a sale or whatnot. And so unless you are new, that's why you'll probably go to a body store. But there's a lot. Fine. But when I look at bodies like Erica, like the brand Erica, they've made a lot of bodies. Like before, they had like a nice chubby body, kind of like almost like a realistic body where it's not like exaggerated proportions. But I think even with that body, it failed because the reality is a lot of people will say, yeah, I just want a nice realistic body in SL. I want a nice realistic body in SL. But the reality is, this is a virtual platform. You're not going to want to make a similar body shape to what you have. Most people, they're gonna want to make exaggerated proportions, or they want to make a skinny avatar, or maybe they're gonna want to make a big avatar. Most people don't want these realistic things because most people don't like how they look, which is just the sad truth. So every single time I see people complaining, yeah, I want a realistic body, I'm like, no, you don't. And I think even creators themselves know that that doesn't sell. And I think with that Erica body, it didn't get much attention because people like, I don't want to have it, you know. Obviously, some might say, well, you have bodies such as Enithium and eBody coming up with belly add-ons. But I'm like, yeah, sometimes people like the idea of having, that chubby frame and then also being able to take it off and say, well, I don't feel like being chubby. You know, maybe it's part of like a role play or whatnot. So, yeah, humans are complicated, especially the girlies. We are complicated. Um, but going back to the bodies, so many bodies. So I'm looking at this body, and I'm just like scrolling back at like the first teasers of this body. I'm like, okay, it's cute. But then I'm looking at it, I'm like, the feet remind me of another body. I'm like, no, like they literally, like as I'm looking at right now, I'm like, the feet look like a body that is currently on the grid. Like it looks almost identical. So I'm like, okay, the feet remind me of this body. Scrolling up, I'm like, okay, the boobies, they remind me of another body, you know? Another picture, and I'm like, okay, the shaping of it looks like another body. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then, so it's a beautiful body. If this is the body, like what I'm seeing, it's beautiful. Okay, it's cute. My friends know that I get FOMO, so I might probably buy it. I don't know. But it's cute. Even like the smaller shape, it's cute. But yeah, and then there's like different, yeah, it's cute. It's cute. It's cute. And I think the creator, yeah, they did their thing. But going back to people and their thoughts. So people are commenting, right? And then they're like, well, what about support, body support, blah, blah, blah. And someone said that when people, when a person releases a body, and that's actually what I was thinking about like the past few weeks, like when you release an item, you expect people to look at the item and probably purchase it. So when you release a body, you are expecting people to purchase the body. And the people purchasing the body, they don't want to purchase a body and walk around in a bikini for weeks, months, even. They want to purchase a body and have clothing options. And unfortunately, and this was also stated by someone in like the comments, that there is just so many bodies. Like they even stated that like the amount of body add-ons that most of these bodies have, you are able to kind of create almost anything that it almost defeats the purpose and the point of buying a new body to achieve a similar shape, because you already have the clothing for the add-ons or for the body. Why purchase a new body for a shape that you can already achieve? But we'll see how it'll be like. But it reminds me also of like this thought that I had, that it's always going to be like this. Every time a body gets released, there are people that are going to be excited, there are people that are going to be like, oh, skeptical, people that are going to be like, okay, I'll see how it looks. So I'm one of those people. I'll see how it looks, and then if I like the shaping experience, then I might consider adding it. But I wanna say it's a triangle, but I guess it's more of a linear problem where you have on the far right left, you have on the far left, you've got your creator. So this is the body creators. And in the middle, you've got the consumer, and then on the far right, you've got the clothing creators, the accessory creators, right? And so we, as the consumer, are also going to be divided. So you're going to have some consumers that are straight up just going to buy the body without testing it out. You're going to have people that are going to buy the body and will say, I'll add my clothing collection as time goes on. I don't mind the weight. Then there are people, and that's where I fall into the category where I'm like, I like the body. I'm interested into getting the body, but there's just not enough clothes for the body. So I'm not going to buy the body. And so what happens is the clothing, the body creator will say, well, please just be kind and spread the word and ask your favorite creators to make for said body. So then you, as the consumer, you go obviously in a friendly and a kind manner and you say, oh, hey, my favorite creator, can you please consider adding this body to your making list? And then the clothing creator will like, oh, okay, well, I haven't really heard many people asking for it. So when there's a demand, I'll get back to you. I might even consider making for it. And then you receive that feedback, and then you'll go back and then you tell the body creator that, oh, well, I did ask. They say that, okay, when there's a demand for it. But with the amount of bodies that are on the grid, you are absolutely lucky, and you should be grateful when you find a creator that makes for 3 or more bodies. And I remember when Laura X, Material Laura X was released or was about to get released, and the creators got the new dev kit. Creators were releasing statements left, right, and center, and they were saying, well, with the release of Laura X, we will no longer be making for the old material. People, most people were okay, most people were not okay. They were like, why can't you make for both? Blah, blah, blah. And some obviously were complaining in a rather rude manner, and some were like disappointed, but they didn't really bother uh, typing out their complaints because at the end of the day, this is just a virtual world. So that was for me the first sign. I was like, wow, creators have like had enough. And to be fair, upon the release of the Laura X, you had you had a lot of body add-ons. So, for instance, eBody has quite a few amount of body add-ons from the body creator themselves and also secondary body add-ons. And so you're very lucky and should be grateful when you have creators making for those add-ons, but it does get to a point where it's a lot of work and a lot of customizing that comes on the creator's part. And for instance, the Luna, love that store. They have dropped Cupra, they've dropped Beleza Freya, and to be fair, not many people are using Beleza Freya that much, but um, they haven't picked up the Gen X. And so they now make for, I believe it's Legacy. So it's Legacy, and I think Legacy Perky, it's the Lara, and it's the Lara X and the Lara X Petite, and then it's E-Body. And so E-Body, it seems a lot, but looking back, maybe it's not that much because Lithium has kind of a similar amount of add-ons, but E-Body has the waifus, they've got the juicy boobs and the rolls. So it's three three add-ons. So obviously there's when it's time to create the clothing and the rigging and all that, if you want to make a top or a dress, let's say maybe you want to have juicy boobs and rolls, and or maybe you want to have waifus and rolls, or maybe you just want to have the normal reborn and rolls. So it comes to that, and then it does add to the complexity of making stuff. But it is a lot. And then you've got creators, like I remember when Blueberry was still around, they were making for pretty much almost all the top bodies, and that was a lot. And I know currently Adams does make for a lot of bodies. So it is a lot. And so when you have these new bodies coming out, you ask yourself, and even people in the comments, they're like, well, um, because of the amount of bodies that are there, the new bodies, they have to bring something different. They have to bring, and I feel like when people say they have to bring something different, I honestly don't know why the body creators instantly just go, genitals. Because no, that is no longer something different. Okay. Erica, Erica has that. Okay. The Erica body's got that. The Beleza Gen X body, they've got that. And I think it's yeah, there's another body. I just don't remember the name. It also has that. So I'm looking at the picture. I think this is like the first real teaser of the body, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, guys, it's got it's got um genitalia, but I'm like, that better not be something like different and unique, because it's not different and unique. Um, but yeah, this is just me rambling my thoughts. Because I was like, you know what, if I don't actually record myself rambling, I might probably pop my head. But yeah, there's people are saying it has to be something different and unique. And the reality is it's 2025. Mesh has been out for quite some time. With the amount of bodies that are on the grid and the amount of add-ons that are on the grid, we've seen it all. And so when these bodies release, um, when these bodies get released, it's honestly nothing new. Okay. I'm sure the body heart might come with add-ons, so you don't have to purchase these add-ons, or you can come with deformers, but that is also nothing so groundbreakingly new that it might make people come and buy or make this their primary body. Because what use is it if having a body that comes with all these cool add-ons if nobody is creating for these cool add-ons, right? So yeah, um, yeah, there's definitely definitely a lot. Let me know what you guys think. But there's so much. There's just so much. I feel like what makes it worse is that these quote unquote new bodies, obviously it's based on how they've shaped them, but we all know that you're going to be able to be curvy and have thick thighs and also still have like a small frame, but it's nothing new. If someone really wants to make something new, they should really come out with like a body. I think it's the pigu, one of those bodies. You know, like the like chubby bodies. Come up with a chubby body there, you know? That's something, it's not something new, but have it look new, you know? Add the cool features, because I think like the piggy, I don't know. Sorry, those bodies may I think they're also they might not have like all these cool customizable features of like different nail shapes and all that. So come out with, you know, things such as the different feet levels, different cute nails, but then just have the body be like a big body. You know, that that might be different than what we are getting at. And I think when you look at bodies like the peach body and what's it, the new body, the body by the BBL creatives, I think it's Yenmen's, I don't know, but the BBL body creator has a new body. Oh, she's got so many bodies, but she has like a newer body. And as I was testing her new body, and I was like, okay, it's cute. And then I was looking at the butt. And the way the butt behaves is the same way the butt of Peach behaved. And so I think that is some cool features, you know, where I remember when the Peach body was about to be released, the creator was like, yeah, um, the butt is different than normal bodies. So when you're in certain positions, certain adult positions, or maybe like certain bent over positions, the booty doesn't go flat. You know, it doesn't look flat. It still keeps that roundness. So when you have these cool features, there's going to be limits. So for instance, because the body is meant to have a big booty, when you want it to be small, it's gonna have that ugly. Okay, I'm sorry, maybe not ugly. I just don't like, you know, that like the hips, but like the botched BBL hip, but yeah, side hip thigh thing. Then it does that, and I just don't like how that looks. Um, yeah, I don't like how that looks, and so those two bodies I noticed that's what they do. But then as I was thinking, I was like, well, when you think about it, creators, when they make a body, they make it with a certain body group in mind. So, for instance, when you look at bodies such as the Maitreya body, you know that the idea is for you to have like a small frame. That's why they even came out with the petite frame, because you know, small boobies, small frame, cute, right? Dainty, demure, cute. I should not be trying to achieve a Cupra shape on a Maitreya shape. So yes, with the Laura X, it's now more curved, more smooth looking, but the restrictions and the limitations remain the same. The Maitreya, its idea its intended purpose, because we all have a purpose and everybody has a purpose. The Maitreya body's purpose is for it to be on the smaller side. You should not be trying to get the Maitreya to look like a reborn or a peach. Which brings me to another point. Yes. So when you guys go shape shopping, please be mindful, right? I hope I never done this. But when you see the ad is looking very curvy and all that. And then when you look at the bodies, right? The bodies need to correlate. So as I'm saying, if I'm shaping the Cupra, I'm not gonna get the same shape as I would on Legacy or Maitreya unless I use deformers, and most people don't use deformers, okay? So I'm rambling. But long story short, there's too many bodies on the grid. Yes, I know you don't have to buy every single body, but the reality is creators already make for so many bodies. The chances of them picking up another body is less likely. It's me rambling. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care, lovies. Bye bye.